Hello everyone, this is Professor Reimer. This video is for my world history class on Friday, November 6th and Monday, November 9th. It is entitled The Spread of Islam. Our objective in this lesson is to explain the political, economic, and social impact of Islam on Europe, Asia, and Africa by writing a contextualization statement. As always, let's preview by setting a timer for 2 minutes. And I want you to write down what you know about Islam. We studied it a little bit when we looked at religions. You studied it last year in world geography. Let's see how much you can remember. Set the timer, 2 minutes, go. All right, I hope, guys, that there was a lot that you did remember. The 5 pillars, the Prophet Muhammad, the law known as Sharia. You're going to study those a little bit today, but today I can't stress enough that we're focusing more on the impact of the spread of Islam. I should also point out that this is lesson 3, DOL 3, in our unit 3, and this is a new kind of a lesson. In the previous 2 lessons, we looked at continuities from the previous classical era unit, right? Tang and Song China built upon the Han dynasty of the classical age. The Eastern or the Byzantine Empire built upon the Roman Empire of the classical age. Here we're going to study a brand new civilization, a brand new religion to world history. It is going to build on previous previous precedents from the Byzantine Empire, from the Persian empires, from the earlier monotheistic religions, but it is something brand new in world history. So let's get a preview from the McGraw-Hill textbook. Here we go. I'm going to move over to the actual map here, and here we go.
Muhammad's controlled much of the under his the Arab Empire expanded rapidly, adding Syria, Egypt, and Persia by 650. In 661, the Umayyad Caliphate moved their capital to Damascus in Syria. Under the Umayyads, Arab armies marched west, conquered North Africa, overrunning Spain, and plunging deep into France until their advance was halted at the Battle of Tours in 732. In the east, the Arabs threatened the Byzantine Empire and extended their conquest to the borders of India. Within the Arab Empire, old cities such as Damascus, Isfahan, Tunis, and Cordoba flourished, and new cities appeared such as Baghdad and Cairo. Based in these urban areas, a brilliant Islamic civilization arose. Philosopher and physician Ibn Sina flourished amid the peace, stability, and scholarly surroundings he found in Isfahan, where he completed some of his most important works. The astronomer, mathematician, and poet Omar Khayyam also spent very productive years in Isfahan, where an observatory was built to help him make the calculations needed to improve the calendar. The House of Wisdom, a library, school, and translation center, was founded in Baghdad in 830. Hunayn ibn Ishaq studied medicine in Baghdad and became chief physician to the Abbasid court. Familiar with ancient Greek, he traveled widely to gather old manuscripts, organized a translation school in Baghdad, and circulated Arabic versions of ancient texts throughout the Islamic world. Known to the West as Rhazes, the Islamic scientist al-Razi served as chief physician in a hospital in Baghdad. Al-Azhar University was founded in Cairo in 970. The Iraqi scholar Ibn al-Haytham, called al-Hazan, who came to Cairo at the invitation of its Islamic ruler, was a mathematician and astronomer who wrote an important study of optics that correctly explained vision as a process by which the eye receives light rays. The greatest traveler of his time, Ibn Battuta, left his native city of Tangier in Morocco, went to Tunis, where he joined the annual Muslim pilgrimage to Mecca. For more than 25 years, he journeyed throughout the Islamic world, traveling an estimated 75,000 miles. Born in Tunis, the Islamic historian Ibn Khaldun wrote a groundbreaking study of history, the Muqaddimah, Introduction, in which he analyzed the principal underlying events. In the 10th century, the library of the Caliph of Cordova had 400,000 books. Born in Cordova, the Spanish Muslim scholar Ibn Hazm was famed for the breadth of his learning, writing on history, law, theology, and even composing a brilliant treatise on love, The Ring of the Dove. Also a Cordovan, Ibn Rushd, known to the West as Averroes, wrote a commentary on nearly all the works of the Greek philosopher Aristotle that had a great influence on medieval European thought.
As you can see, lots of accomplishments, so many, in fact, that historians often refer to this period of time as the Golden Age of Islam. The title of this map is called the Islamic World. The Arabic for that is the Dar al-Islam, House of Islam. So just wanted to point that out. You might see that term as well. Also, let me point out that yes, we're working once again on a writing skill of contextualization, but we are also going to be working on the historical thinking skill of causation. So our objective is to analyze the impact of the spread of Islam. So that's looking at the effects, but we're also going to look at the causes of where this religion came from. So let me navigate back to my PowerPoint. And there it is, right? So in this lesson, in this video, we're going to use graphic organizers to help us gather information to meet our objective. We're going to be working primarily in Chapter 9, and there are 3 graphic organizers that I put in the lesson to help you. And what I want to do in the next several minutes in this video is to walk you through how to tackle graphic organizers, because we haven't really used them much this year. But first thing first, let me say you should scan them just like you would scan something you were to read for this class. So I have it pulled up. Let me navigate over here to the Rise of Islamic Graphic Organizer. Notice there is a cause and a question for you to answer, and then 3 effects, another cause with its effects, and then you have to explain something down here. Be sure you are that you're doing all of those. Remember also that causes lead to effects, and then oftentimes these effects lead to more effects and on like a domino. So let's turn to Chapter 9, Lesson 1 to find that first question. What were Muhammad's revelations? And again, you're using your reading skills that we've been working on. And for sake of time, I'm going to skim quickly. Let's see if we can find something about Muhammad's revelations. You would want to go back and read the introduction, of course, but here we go. Look, it's even highlighted. Oh my gosh. If we click on it, if you didn't know what a revelation was, it's a divine truth. What was our question? What were Muhammad's revelations? Okay, let's read here. We have Gabriel told Muhammad to, no, let's go back up. Into this world of tension stepped a man named Muhammad. Obviously, you're going to want to go back and reread what those tensions were. Born in Mecca to a merchant family, he was orphaned at 5. He grew up to become a caravan manager and married a rich widow named Khadijah. Over time, Muhammad became troubled by the growing gap between the generosity of most Meccans and the greediness of the wealthy elite, and began to visit the hills to meditate. During one of those visits, Muslims believe Muhammad received revelations from God. According to Islamic teachings, the angel Gabriel gave the messages to Muhammad. Gabriel told Muhammad to recite what he heard. Muhammad had a knowledge of the Jewish and Christian monotheistic traditions and came to believe that Allah had already revealed himself through Moses and Jesus, and thus through the Jewish and Christian teachings. He believed, however, that the final revelations of Allah were now being given to him. So, what were these revelations? They were messages from the angel Gabriel. That's what we learned. Notice I'm not writing a complete sentences. These are your notes. Let's go on to the next paragraph. Out of these revelations developed the religion of Islam. Here we go. Revelations were eventually written down and became the holy book of Islam called the Quran. The word Islam means peace through submission to the will of Allah. Those who practice the religion of Muslim, I messed it up there. You shouldn't do that. Those who practice the religion of Islam are called Muslims. According to Islam, there is only one God. Oh, okay. See, we want some facts about what the revelation said. There's only one God, Allah, and Muhammad is God's prophet. The Quran contains the ethical guidelines and laws by which the followers of Allah are to live. The Quran not only reflects the Arab culture from which it was derived, it also transcends it and continues to guide modern-day Muslims throughout the world. Okay, so not only are they messages from God, but what were those messages, right? They include there is only one God and Muhammad is his prophet. What else did it say? Ethical guidelines. There you go. And the ethical guidelines followers of Islam should obey. All right, that's the cause. Now you're going to need to dive into the rest of the section to find these effects and then move on to the second cause and then that last bit right there. Okay, that's for, if I go back to my PowerPoint, that's for Chapter 9, Lesson 1, Rise of Islam. Those are causes. What led to the rise? What led to this new religion? Okay, in Chapter 9, Lesson 2, now we're going to move to the spread. And remember what our objective is, right? The impact of the spread. So the spread is what happened because of Islam. Something happened, right? It began to spread. That had some causes. And then because it spread, it led to other things, which would be the impact or the effects. All right, so let's turn over. Let's find Chapter 9, Lesson 2. Here we are back to the book. We can look, remember, navigate quickly up here to Lesson 2. Look, creation of an Arab empire. Right away, one of the effects of the spread of Islam is going to be an Arab empire. And we're looking for these Rashidun caliphs. Do we see it? Oh, they're going to make us dig in there. All right. I thought maybe it would be a bolded term. All right. Here we go. Muhammad's death, so we got a bolded term here. Muhammad's death led to the development of the Islamic Caliphate. Well, what's that mean? What's that mean? The office of the Caliph. Okay, what's a Caliph? Oh, it tells us down there. Shortly after Muhammad's death, some of his closest followers chose Abu Bakr, a wealthy merchant and Muhammad's father-in-law, to be their leader. Abu Bakr was Muhammad's companion on the journey to Medina in 8622. There, Abu Bakr functioned as Muhammad's chief advisor and also led the public prayers during Muhammad's final illness. In 8632, he was named Caliph, the spiritual and temporal leader of the Muslims. All right, so I'm running short on time, but we had to go back. What did the rightly guided caliphs use as guides to leadership? We got a hint right there. The teachings and sayings of Muhammad, because they had been with him from the beginning. All right. Now, lastly, lesson 3. This one's a little bit different. It is a 4-square chart where you're going to list some of those many of the Muslim achievements in these areas. The video prefaced many of them. So dive in. Here I want to see, some names. I want to see some achievements in these areas. All right. Back to the PowerPoint and your assignment. It's the same assignment as the Byzantine Empire, but I've given you a new prompt and a new thesis statement, and it's related back to our objective. Here's the prompt. To what extent did the spread of Islam impact Africa in the period 600 to 1450? All right, so I chose one specific area, and I said this. The spread of Islam significantly impacted Africa in the period 600 to 1450 by introducing a new kind of government to the region, that caliphate we just read about, and by connecting it to more trade routes. Your job is to give contextualization, like what would an alien from another world need to know? And remember, go to the prompt and look at these key terms, and it's just screaming, Islam, what is that? And why did it spread? You're going to need to explain that in your contextualization statement so the readers can understand this argument you're making. To help you do that, I've given you this example. I've given you the first sentence. You're going to need to tell me about the founder and about his followers and their beliefs so that I have some context. I'm out of time. Check out my other video where I show you some other examples.